So I was going to do a spoiler review on Evil Dead Rise, but then I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I really enjoyed this movie. Let me just instead go beyond spoiler review. Let me actually go over every freaking scene in the movie in order. I mean, yeah, I think I did this for Top Gun Maverick. I'm going to do this for Evil Dead Rise. If you want to see Evil Dead Rise, obviously this is like a super duper spoiler review. Watch my non-spoiler review. If you just don't want to go see Evil Dead Rise, you're like, hey, I wonder what the movie was like. Maybe might as well watch this. Hey, now Evil Dead Rise. And the movie opens up in a very familiar setting. Not the exact same setting, but it's in the woods, which is kind of nice. And you think you're seeing like the evil's point of view when it does the shaky cam thing, like that whole little Evil Dead movies always do that, but it ends up being a drone instead. That was kind of clever. And yeah, we run into something we're used to, which is, you know, you have the guy that's a prick, and then you have the one girl, and then you have the other girl, I guess her cousin, and she's sick in there, and he's like, go check on your cousin. It's an Evil Dead movie. You know what she's sick of. But I love how the scene kind of just like starts to develop a little bit of tension, where she's sitting there asking if her cousin's okay, and she starts reading a book, and her cousin's suddenly sitting up, and she's like, whoa. And then the cousin, who's not even looking at her, starts with that Evil Dead voice, starts basically saying the book out loud. And the girl's looking at the book and she's like, what the fuck? That was cool. Girl falls over the bed and she goes to check on her cousin. Her cousin's like puking and doing all the stuff. And then, oh dude, when she grabs her by the head and she's like, who's the brainless meat puppet now? And she pulls her freaking scalp off. That was freaking, yeah, I'm like, oh, this is good. The possessed girl goes out there, fucks up the boyfriend. And you never really see like if the girl that got her scalp ripped off dies, but I'm guessing, yeah, she wasn't going to make, yeah, she's gone. But then we go into our main story, and it's kind of cool that it's in a new setting. It's in an apartment building, and we've never really had this before in Evil Dead movies. And now we meet the family, and I kind of like what they did with the family, because it wasn't like just like some white picket fence stuff. No, man, like the mom, she's like a tattoo artist. The brother is like trying to be a DJ. The sister is like going to go to like a protest. And then there's the little sister who probably is a little bit interesting because she's like chopping off the freaking head of a doll to put it on a stick. I mean, yeah, cool. But I like the fact that it was a little bit of a dark and kind of modern family that's pretty hip. Then comes the sister, Beth, and she's like everybody's favorite aunt because she's like never got married. She doesn't want her own kids, but she likes other people's kids because she can return them. But she's the fun aunt. And apparently Beth and Ellie, the mom, they have a little bit of a conflicting sister relationship. Ellie kind of looks down on Beth as irresponsible, I guess, but they try to work it out. And then the kids go to get some pizza while the two sisters talk, and you get that freaking earthquake coming and everything starts crackling. I'm like, oh, I know where that book is. It's going to show up because of the earthquake. And listen, up to this point, there is a little bit of a pacing issue with the movie because you want it to get going, but at the same time, in the movie's defense, it's also a little bit of character development, which is nice. And now this brings me to the blonde kid. Okay, I get it. It's a horror movie. People make stupid decisions. But this was like next level stupid. Earthquake comes, does the whole crack thing. Oh, there's a hole that breaks open in the ground. And it looks like there's a room in that hole. Okay, you know what? I'll let this one slide. The kid is like, oh, I'm adventurous. Let me freaking check out what's in that hole in that room. Okay, I can let that one go. He goes in there, it's a freaking old vault thing. There's all this really old shit. And then he's like, oh, let me keep going. Let me keep looking. And then, oh, no. Let's go in the room where there's 100,000 crucifixes all hanging, right? That's always a good sign. Yeah, let's just go through there and keep looking. He's not even fazed. At this point, I'm like, oh, okay, you're getting an award for bravery and stupidity at the same freaking time. He goes, he sees this tomb. I can't tell what the writing says on the tomb, but I'm pretty sure it says, get the fuck out of here. But no, let me look. And then there's a hole in the tomb. He goes, oh, dark hole. Let me stick my hand in there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Pulls out the book. Oh, look at the book. The book looks creepy as shit. Bugs come out of everywhere. That's okay. I'm still going to keep the book and take it into my bedroom. Even a huge crucifix of Jesus came down, scared the friggin' kid. The look on Jesus' face, his look is like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Go home. But no. Let me keep exploring. Oh, best part. He gets up there, starts opening the book. The book, it cuts him, right? The book drinks the blood. It swallows the blood. But that's okay. I want to keep looking at the book. You're looking at it. It's not Dr. Seuss. You're seeing like some creepy ass shit in the pages. Oh, but I want to keep looking. I want to keep looking. He can't translate the book. Thank God. He brought an album from downstairs, and it's the priest translating the book. And get ready, folks. As DJ What the Fuck decides to play the fucking record on his turntable so we get to hear the Necronomicon in frickin' surround sound. Yes! Yeah. I mean, even the record came with the priest saying, bro, if anybody's playing this, take this shit off right now. Please do not keep playing this. Please do not keep playing this. Things are not going to go well. But no, the kid's like, oh, I want to listen to side B. Yeah. And yeah, obviously the point of view of the thing starts going through the freaking thing, and it goes into the apartment, and it's not the drone this time. No, it's the freaking thing. Why? Because DJ What the Fuck had the so then freaking thing comes and it gets mom in the elevator. And what I love, and there's a lot of this going on, like little Easter eggs and little like shout outs to like Evil Dead and other movies. The cables freaking fuck mom up inside the elevator, but it's like the vines from the Evil Dead movies from like the forest. So it's kind of cool. It looks just like it, but it's obviously the cables for the elevator. It's awesome. And then I love mom's intro, or, you know, it's not Ellie anymore, but like she's in the kitchen and she's just like throwing the eggs in the freaking pan, like she's doing what she normally does, but she's obviously like not really there anymore. And then she's like talking all nicely, and some of the shit that comes out of this woman's mouth is so badass in this movie. She's like all pleasant. She's like, wonder something about a wonderful day. And then she's like, you know, I just, all I think about is how much I would love to just cut you all open and climb inside of you so we could all stay one big happy family. Just the way it's delivered is like, it's like, that's pretty cool. And then she like gets on her knees and freaking pukes up like freaking a gallon of milk or some shit. Something maybe people didn't notice, and this was a really cool moment actually, was she gets on her knees and she looks at her sister Beth, and she's like, you know, please don't let them take my family or something like that. Please protect them. And then she just done, right? That's cool, because here's the thing. I don't know if I forgot to mention this. Beth, the irresponsible one or the crazy wild one, she just found out she's going to be a mom. Okay. So she's not even ready to have a kid. Suddenly, like now she's got to be the protector of 3 kids out of the blue, and not the greatest situation, by the way. So it was kind of like passing of the guard, like asking her to please be the mom now and protecting the kids. And it's like Ellie knew she wasn't coming back after this. Like she's done, she's gone. And it was just a cool little moment. And I appreciate that this movie tried to put a little bit of heart and a little bit of like, I don't know, some layers into this besides just like killing people. So it was cool. And I love how they go to try to take mom to the hospital, and they go to open up the elevator's all messed up already, but they go to open up the stairs, and the stairs are destroyed from the earthquake. And it's almost like the same thing as like the Evil Dead movies in the woods, whenever they get to the bridge and the bridge is destroyed so they can't pass it. So it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, like your exit is gone. And it's like, is that even the earthquake? Probably not. It's you know, the Evil Dead. But then mom finally has a seizure and she's gone. They put her in the bedroom, and I love how like they go to close her eyes and then the eyes come right back open again. And it's just creepy. But yeah, it's not a good situation. They're in a very high floor of an apartment. There's barely anyone living there. The elevator's gone. The freaking stairs are gone, and there's a power shortage. So yeah, they're kind of stuck there. Mom kind of wakes up and she's burning up. They throw her in the water, in the tub, and she's just like freaking losing it. And then she goes up to the freaking ceiling and she just like does this like super high ass scream. And dude, she comes down, and I was lucky enough during my little break from just movie stuff, I didn't see the trailer to this. So I didn't see some of the stuff that was in the trailer until after I saw the movie. So I got to experience the first time mom puts her fingers up and gets up the thing in, and the kids are like, Mom, and she's like, Mommy's with the maggots now. It's like, I'm like, see, that's one of those lines that are freaking cool. And yeah, and then mom attacks like the daughter, grabs a freaking tattoo gun like right up to the eye. You know, the son knocks the mom down, and then the mom gets up and she's like, who am I running after next? And then her Latino would-be boyfriend like shows up, and she's like, oh, I'm going after him. And dude, they end up in the hallway, and when she eats his freaking eye out, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen next. And yep, she goes, blah, and the eye flies into the other Latin guy's mouth and he swallows it. And yeah, another shout out to Evil Dead 2. But yeah, the kids and everybody get to close the apartment and lock themselves in safely, leaving the other neighbors that were in the hallway kind of screwed. But luckily they do have the peephole that they could see through, so they can see all their neighbors individually getting killed by Mom. And I do love what they do with that peephole, because just the imagery of while you're looking through the peephole, you know how you have that curved view and you see Mom like all like, ee, that's awesome, dude. And she starts saying all this creepy shit. Like, Alyssa Sutherland, who plays Ellie, had to have had a blast doing this role. It was just fun, dude. And they casted her right, because the way her face is and everything else and the way they did her eyes, it just works, dude. And then, oh, bro, Danny, it's the blonde kid, Danny. Oh my God. He's like, oh, it's not my fault. Bro, that's like next level stupid now at this point. The fact that he even stopped for a second to wonder if it was his fault. It is directly your fault. Even the book was surprised it got picked up from the tomb. Like, wow, somebody actually came in here and grabbed me? Like, oh my, Tropic Thunder, it's like, you make me happy. It's like that bad, bro. Sorry about the rant. That's 2 rants now, but I mean, the word rant is in the freaking channel, so yeah. And then everyone's kind of going through their stuff. The little boy's finally deciding it might have something to do with the book he grabbed. Beth is looking at the book like, what the hell's this? You know, and then the emo protest girl, she's all like freaking starting to get all black stuff coming out of her slowly. And then little blonde girl, the cute one, what does she do? She starts hearing Mom doing the little, you know, lullaby, Evil Dead Easter egg. Starts doing a little lullaby, and the little girl goes up and she's like, oh, you know, Daddy's here. He's back, you know, and I love you and this and that. And it was just creepy as fuck. Little girl, you're like, don't do it. But again, horror movie. She unlocks the door. Thank God it still has the chain and the freaking big chest thing there. But Mom just grabs that kid. Like, DCF was definitely going to get called. But yeah, then Beth goes into the kitchen and finds emo protest girl. I forget her name, but yeah, she's freaking curled up on the counter looking towards the freaking cabinets. It's not a good position. In an Evil Dead movie, you see that shit, that means go to the other room. But no, obviously Beth's gonna go make sure she's okay, and she's really not. She's like, oh, there's bugs in me and I'm trying to get them out, and she's eating shards of glass to kill the bugs. But the charger got kind of going through her. It's cool. It's pretty badass, actually. But then, you know, she's going on her, and then she starts attacking Beth, and, you know, she's all like, you know, Evil Deadish. And dude, again, I didn't see the trailer, so I see the cheese grater on the floor, and I'm like, oh, no, she's not. No, she's not. No, she did. Emo girl grabs the cheese grater and puts it on Beth's calf, and is like, and I'm just like, yeah. It was awesome. It was awesome. And little blonde kid, you know, the emo girl goes to attack her, and she grabs the stick with the freaking doll and goes like that, and the stick goes right through the freaking emo girl, dude. And that was pretty cool. She dropped, and that little girl's going through some shit. She just, even though it's not really her sister anymore, it's still kind of her sister, and she just freaking killed her. So she's just there, and she's sitting down with Beth. And I'm gonna bring this up regardless. The end of this very much reminds me of Aliens, and that's cool. It's not a bad thing, but they're having a moment where Beth is wiping little blonde girl's, you know, face and taking the dirt off of it and telling her it's going to be okay. And she decides at that point, I'm going to protect you. I want to make sure you're okay. So Beth's arc is really changing now, and she's like becoming a real protector. Also, just like the scene from Alien when she's like that. So I forget the little girl's name. I'm just going to call her Newt from now on, if that's okay with you guys. But yeah, then there's like great setup because Beth is putting on the freaking the headphones to listen to the record. So, I mean, that's at least halfway stupid. That's not so bad. And I wonder if only one person can hear it and it doesn't get out there. Does it still work? I don't know. But she's doing that, right? And as she's doing that, Ellie is going up the air duct to get into the freaking apartment. And there's a few scenes like this, but they're really cool. It's a great setup with like tension building where like you're seeing Beth and she's listening to the thing. She can't hear anything. And you're seeing just the slight shadow of Ellie coming down behind her. And it's like, ooh, that was cool. Emo girl gets up and goes after freaking dumb blonde kid. Normally, I don't like kids getting hurt in movies, but for some reason, he gets stabbed. It doesn't really bother me, man. I mean, it's you kind of were looking for it. But yeah, no, like she stabs him, and I'm like, dude, you normally don't see that in movies like that with like younger kids, but okay. And I don't think that's a problem. I think I commend the movie for not like holding back. And obviously, Ellie jumps on Beth and starts fucking her up. Blonde kid comes out, and he's already done. Like his emo sister freaking stabbed him, and he fell. And kudos to him. He did look at his little blonde sister at Newt and was like, my bad, I'm sorry. And then he died. So it's like, okay, at least he admitted at the end. But then like, I like how like Ellie gets behind Beth and she's like, I'll swallow your soul. Evil Dead 2 is my favorite. So whenever you're going to like talk, like reference Evil Dead 2 or whenever you're going to bring up anything with Evil Dead 2, I'm going to be happy. So she's like, I'll swallow your soul. But then she puts her down, and this is where it gets really cool. She starts feeling her, and she feels the second heartbeat of the baby, and she's like, oh, 2 souls. And I'm like, I like it. It's cool. Yeah. But then, you know, freaking Newt throws the thing to freaking Beth, and Beth grabs a scissor and shoves it up Ellie's face. And that was pretty cool, dude. Ellie at that point was like, all right, I need a little bit of a break. And at this point, Beth grabs Newt and she's like, let's get the fuck out of here, bro. So then they go into the hallway and they're passing all the neighbors that are dead, and all the neighbors start waking up and they're like all messed up. And back to Evil Dead 2, they start going dead by dawn, dead by dawn. I'm like, oh, dude, that's freaking Evil Dead. So then she gets into the elevator with Newt, and she's like, all right, let's close it. And then Sigourney Weaver and Newt close the thing, and they all start taking their arms and legs and putting them into Ellie's body, and Ellie kind of turns into like an Ellie spider. I know that sounds really crazy and kind of stupid, but it actually looks pretty cool. And what does Spider do? Goes up into the elevator, dude, and she's in the shaft, and the blood starts coming through the elevator like walls, and it starts filling up and filling up and filling up, and you're like, she's like about to drown. Thankfully, you see that the blood is passing by the thing that says what the weight capacity is, and obviously it's too heavy, but yeah, it goes over capacity and it breaks, and when it comes down, I'm like, I already know the scene that's gonna happen, even though I never saw the trailers. Freaking The Shining, dude. The elevator comes down, you see the elevator doors open, and just freaking the blood just comes out. Super cool. And then obviously they get out of the elevator, they go to the creepy parking lot where the car is, get in the car, and as they're going, the car gets stuck in a freaking crack, and you see the doors open from behind them, and you know mom's coming through with her freaking 8 arms now, and it's the whole scene where like they come out of the car and they see mom in the corner of the car, so they start kind of doing that around the thing not to get each other, but it's very like kind of creepy and well done. And all of a sudden you see they use the clicker to open up the garage door so they can get out, and the garage door clicker starts closing the thing. Obviously it's because mom Ellie has the freaking clicker back at the car. Beth and the Newt are like, bro, we gotta run. So they go to run and get under the thing. Obviously mom grabs Newt and drags her in. Ellie's free to go, but she is going to go back and save Newt. Aliens. And she goes in there holding the shotgun with the blood like coming down. I mean, it's Ash pretty much. That's what she's got, that Ash look, which is awesome. Ellie brings Newt into the freaking maintenance truck, and what's sitting there? A freaking chainsaw. She goes to grab the chainsaw to use it on the little girl, dude. What? Really? Beth goes behind, points the gun, and I'm pretty much waiting for Beth to say, get away from her, you bitch. But thankfully that didn't happen. That would have been a little too much on the nose. And then Newt goes on and turns on the wood chipper, and then Beth like, you know, kind of pushes and kicks Ellie, so it starts to get Ellie, and little by little it's getting her in. And then how does she finally get her all the way through? Grabs a freaking chainsaw and starts going at it. It's like, yeah, dude, freaking Evil Dead. And there were probably a few parts of that parking lot that didn't have blood, so thankfully the wood chipper was around, and now it's spraying the blood with the whole thing instead of the wood. And it's obviously it's on revolve mode, so it's making sure to cover the whole area. Yeah. And then, you know, you have that moment where Newt and Beth hug each other, and it's like, yes, we're together. They're on the way to countless therapy sessions, obviously, but good news, Newt still kind of has like a new mom now, and Beth has a free babysitter, so it's cool. And I am happy this wasn't something where like, oh, you read the book and everything goes back to normal or some shit and mom's fine. I like that there was some casualties here. There were some stakes. And yeah, dude, some kids got taken out. And listen, I get it. You know, you lost 2 out of 3 of them. But considering the situation and circumstances, Beth did a pretty solid job, dude. She still kept one, and it was the least annoying one too. So that was a good thing. She kept the cute one. That's cool. And now it's the next morning, and we see, oh, full circle, because the girl from the very beginning of The Evil Dead, she's coming out saying, hey, we're going to the woods. I'm going to pick you up in a little bit. And her friend, the one that, you know, got her head ripped off, Oh man, she was like, I kind of want to take a rain check. And she's like, nope, not a chance. I'm picking you up. And it's like, oh no, dude. Like, she didn't even want to go to this thing. The girl goes and starts looking around the parking lot, wondering what's going on. And yeah, you get that, that Evil Dead ending where you get that shaky cam point of view of the evil and it comes right up to her and gets her. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my spoiler review. I mean, I think I kind of went over everything. If there's anything I forgot or missed or an Easter egg, please say it in the comments, dude. And let me know what you thought about Evil Dead Rise. Also, please like, subscribe, and whatever the stuff that I have. Hit that bell for notifications. Thanks for watching.